Over the past 3 years, AIM Quality Assurance Manager Phillip Jermann has been working with an exciting new product, complete with member trials and a whole bunch of research. Last year, Phillip explained AIM's process of new product development. He returns to the stage this year, and you've got some really exciting news.
I do. New product information, and I can't wait to get it off my chest.
Oh, wonderful. Here, you've got the stage.
Thank you. Well, I'm happy to be here today, and what we're going to do is we're going to jump right into it. As you can imagine, as the quality assurance manager, I have to have a detailed understanding of not only the products, but the ingredients, the testing that goes into those ingredients, the efficacy, the safety testing, and that gives me a unique perspective in developing new products for AIM. If you remember last year, I went through kind of the research and development process. It all starts with looking at the AIM products. We're looking for gaps in nutrition, whether that be a product or a nutrient, an ingredient. And a lot of that starts with member feedback. Anytime you're on the phone with a call center representative and you're talking about something that's new and exciting that you'd like to see AIM be a part of, maybe a new product, new nutrient, we take that information and we review it. Maybe you're online chatting with AIM Online, or you send in a letter or a note. We're going to look at all that information, and that's really going to drive new research. As we research these ingredients and nutrients, we're going to look for clinical trials that are going to help benefit that ingredient. Then, if we find an ingredient or formulation that really works, we're going to go into the piloting process. What we're doing is we're creating a very small batch, small number of capsules. We're taking that and we're giving it to the members and getting those member trials started. And we're going to take the AIM staff, and they're going to be the guinea pigs in this as well. They're going to give us some of that immediate feedback that we need. Once we go through that process, we make any formula adjustments that need to be made. We're going to go to the registration process, and then finally, new product launch. Again, last year, I kind of introduced this term of nutracosmetics. This is the ingestion of a product that enhances the function and appearance of skin, nails, and hair. So this was kind of a new process that I kind of introduced. And with that new research, I'm happy to announce a new AIM product, AIM Bio Vivify. This is a dietary supplement that improves the health of skin, hair, and nails through the power of astaxanthin, the amino acids proline, lysine, and glycine, vitamin B7 or biotin, and vitamin C. So you might think, bio what? It's Bio Vivify. If we break this name down, we have bio, which means life, and then vivify, which is a late Latin for renewed. So this is life renewed for hair, skin, and nails. Now, if you know me and you've seen my presentations in the past, you know that I'm all about the details. I want to dive immediately into the meat and potatoes of a product. And that really starts with the nutrition facts panel. So if we look at the nutrition facts panel for Bio Vivify, it's going to look a little different for our US members. You guys probably remember our supplement facts panels typically are more of a tabular, kind of line item by line item. This is called a linear supplement facts. And within this, we've got all the same information. It's just more in a paragraph form. I think we want to start things off by really examining the star of the show, which is going to be the astaxanthin. Bio Vivify supplies 6 milligrams per serving of astaryl astaxanthin. Astaryl astaxanthin is extracted from fresh green water microalgae that, when exposed to high illumination light, actually converts chlorophyll to astaxanthin. And this astaxanthin is what we're looking for. Now, astaxanthin kind of sounds like zeaxanthin, which you can find in ginkgo scents, but it is a different carotenoid with all kinds of new health benefits. Astaryl astaxanthin grows and processes their astaxanthin in the Pacific Northwest of the United States in an enclosed indoor facility. Now, when I first started researching Astareal astaxanthin, it kind of reminded me of growing up. My parents had this little pond out on their property, and during the summer months, it would kind of grow this light green sheen on top and of algae. And this couldn't be further from the truth with Astareal astaxanthin. It all starts with a culture technician, and they actually have to pick the perfect algal cell. So what they do is they take a culture of this green microalgae, and they use what's called an inoculation wand. And it looks like a wand, and they dip it into the culture, and they smear it across this Petri film, which you can see here in this slide. As they're inoculating the dish, they're spreading that culture across. It's then incubated, and then those cells are going to grow. And once those cells have a chance to grow, that culture technician has the chance to then pick the perfect algal cell. They're going to look to eliminate any type of potential contamination. Once they find that cell, it's going to be added to a phytobioreactor, which is essentially just a vessel that just encourages growth of these algal cells. In these photobioreactors, it receives triple filtered water, air, and it's the perfect environment for growth. Once that single cell is then produced into billions of cells, then we go to the high illumination. So we're exposing that chlorophyll to high light, which is then going to convert to astaxanthin. Then we're going to harvest that astaxanthin at its peak, and then we're actually going to break those cells apart. You can kind of think of this as the same way that we process barley life. So we're taking that barley grass juice powder that we create, we're taking the barley grass, we break that cell wall, we extract the juice. Same thing here, we're breaking the cells to extract the astaxanthin, and then goes through a very clean, 100% solvent-free process to create the Astareal astaxanthin. Astareal is the most clinically studied astaxanthin brand worldwide. In fact, they have 6 clinical studies on skin alone, ranging between 2 and 12 milligrams per day. Remember, AIM BioVivify contains 6 milligrams per day, so it's right in the middle of that research. All this research has found to increase collagen production, synthesis, it supports skin hydration, promotes smoothness of skin, enhances skin elasticity, and reduces fine lines. Okay, so we know astaxanthin is this very clean process, and there's a lot of clinical studies, but how much are we getting in our diet? Because if we're taking AIM BioVivify, we're supplementing that. So if we look at one of the main sources of astaxanthin, it's going to be salmon. So on average, we consume about 11 milligrams of astaxanthin per year from salmon. Now remember, BioVivify contains 6 milligrams per day. So if we take 2 days of BioVivify, we've gotten more astaxanthin than we get an entire year's consumption of salmon. And let's look at some of these other sources. We've got the salmon. We've got shrimp and krill, salmon roe, lobsters, other kinds of shellfish. Unless you're living on a ship in the sea and you're consuming these things on a daily basis, you're probably not getting enough astaxanthin in your diet. And maybe you do live near the ocean and you are consuming a lot of this kind of food. I mean, you're consuming a lot of salmon. Well, in one bottle of AIM BioVivify, there was 180 milligrams of astaxanthin. You'd have to consume 49.5 pounds of Atlantic salmon to get that same amount that you're getting in one bottle of BioVivify. Okay, so we know that we need astaxanthin. How powerful is it? How much are we getting out of this great ingredient? Well, if we compare it to other antioxidants out there, if we look at lutein and beta-carotene, these are 2 carotenoids. So astaxanthin is 2.6 times stronger than lutein and 4.9 times stronger than beta-carotene. It is 110 times stronger than vitamin E and 800 times stronger than CoQ10. It's 6,000 times stronger than vitamin C. Now, don't get me wrong. You still need these other nutrients. They can't replace CoQ10, but as comparison of antioxidant power, astaxanthin is far and away a better antioxidant. Okay, so we know we need it. We know it's powerful. How does it impact our skin? So first, we need to kind of have an understanding of the skin structure. So you'll look at this figure and you'll see, okay, we've got young skin on the left. We've got older skin on the right. On that young skin, we've got this nice, thick epidermis. Well, as we age and we're exposed to those free radicals, that epidermis layer, it thins out. And because of that, we start to lose water as a part of evaporation. Can't hold on to moisture as well. In addition to that, hyaluronic acid, which lies deep in the dermis, actually holds 1,000 times its weight in water. Astaxanthin can help protect hyaluronic acid from free radical damage and thus holding more moisture in the skin. The next thing I want you to look at, I want you to look at these structures within the skin. So we see these big white X's. These are collagen. And we can see they kind of break down as we age. They're not as strong. They're not as clear cut. Same thing with elastins. These are going to be important topics that we talk about here later. So let's put it to the test. Astaryl astaxanthin. In clinical research, what has it found for skin texture? Well, I've listed 4 studies here. The first saw a 49% improvement in texture of skin. This is at 3 milligrams per day over the course of 8 weeks. Studies 2 and 3, both using 6 milligrams per day, saw a 4% improvement in skin texture. And finally, at 4 milligrams a day in the 4th study, 9 weeks, subjects improved the tough skin and texture that they saw. I think what we can kind of derive from this information is that you're going to see some benefit at 4 weeks, but you've got to commit to taking astaryl astaxanthin for more than just a month. You've got to commit to 3 months of use to really feel and see the full benefit. The first study also looked at skin elasticity. They looked at 20 healthy women aged 30 to 49. And what they saw was those taking astaryl astaxanthin at 3 milligrams per day saw an 18% improvement in skin elasticity. Now, skin elasticity is going to be your ability to smile and then for your skin to return to its original form. So we definitely want to improve that elasticity of the skin, and that's what they saw in this study. So we just kind of mentioned collagen. I think let's really dive into the collagen a little bit. And I want you to have a really greater understanding of why we included some of the ingredients in AIM BioVivify. So astaxanthin and vitamin C play a critical role along with those amino acids, glycine, proline, and lysine. So this slide, I could talk about collagen synthesis for the entire presentation, and I'm going to try to condense this into just one slide and make it as simple as I can. First off, within the skin, we have cells called fibroblast cells. These are specialized cells, and their only function is to synthesize collagen. Within the fibroblast cell, they are going to organize amino acids into what is called an alpha chain. Once that chain is created with those amino acids, it's then going to need to hydroxylate. And in order to hydroxylate, it has to have vitamin C. Without the hydroxylation, we don't have the structure that we get, that we need actually, from collagen. Once we have these alpha chains, the alpha chains can then assemble. And what happens is 3 of these alpha chains actually intertwine and create a triple helix, just very similar to what we think of as DNA creating a double helix. It creates a intertwined triple helix, and that is going to be our collagen monomer. It can then exit the fibroblast cell, and then the last really important thing that goes along with collagen synthesis is it's going to create these cross linkages between each collagen monomer. That is what's going to then provide more tensile strength to the collagen. So that was a lot of information to take in. But now if we look at the broken down collagen structure here, we can actually see those alpha chains intertwining together. And we can see that amino acid chain, the alpha chain, it's made up of glycine and proline. In fact, every third position of that alpha chain is a glycine. Now, the very important cross linkages that create that tensile strength, lysine is going to be an important component in creating those cross linkages. I think the last thing that I want you to kind of remember with collagen is its half-life is just several months. So we're always breaking down and synthesizing collagen. Now, I talked about the amino acids, the proline, the glycine, the lysine. These are the very important parts of BioVivify. Next is going to be the vitamin C connection to astaxanthin and collagen. So in this study, they looked at real astaxanthin, and they took those fibroblast cells that we talked about. Those are the cells that are going to create collagen. And they exposed them to reactive oxygen species, ROS. This is basically a subset of free radicals. When the cell had not been inoculated with astaxanthin, the cell essentially died and didn't produce any collagen. If it was inoculated with vitamin C, again, the cell died. If it was inoculated with astaxanthin, the fibroblast cell was actually able to survive. Now let's look at the production, okay? So we know if it was exposed to astaxanthin, the fibroblast cell actually did survive. Well, if it was exposed to astaxanthin, it was able to produce about 80% of normal collagen production, which is good, but not great. However, when the cell was exposed to both astaxanthin and vitamin C, the fibroblast cell was able to produce 108% of collagen normal. That's the main reason why we included vitamin C along with astaxanthin in the BioVivify formulation. Lastly, we're talking about the formulation. I'm just going to touch on biotin. And if you look at other hair, skin, and nail products on the market, they're going to center their product around biotin because of its benefits towards hair. In AIM BioVivify, biotin plays a supporting role. It helps protect the hair follicle. Thus, it can help control things like breakage, split ends, rough cuticles, and color loss. But again, it's only playing a very supportive role in AIM BioVivify. Okay, now the fun part. Got through all the science. Let's talk about the member testing. Yes, we tested the members with the same formulation over the course of 12 weeks, 2 capsules a day, and the results were really exciting. So at the 1.5 month mark, we saw members that actually took BioVivify saw a 54% improvement in nails, 69% improvement in hair, and 62% improvement in their skin. At 3 months, this increased to 71% improvement in their nails, 71% improvement in their hair, and 64% improvement in their skin. This goes back to you've got to take this product for more than just 1 month. At 3 months, you've got to commit to that to really start to see significant benefits. And you know we tested the AIM staff on this formula. And we did the exact same thing. So what we did is we took that same formulation across 12 weeks, 2 capsules a day. But the nice thing about testing the AIM staff is we can really keep close tabs on them. And in this case, we actually photograph them every 2 weeks. We use the same lighting, the same positions, same camera. And the results were really exciting. So let's take a look at this subject. The photo on the left is at 0 weeks. The photo on the right is at the end of the 12-week trial. You can see a significant improvement in skin texture, just like we talked about with the clinical trials. We also see an improvement in fine lines and a reduction in some of the age spots found. She also saw an improvement on her forehead, same thing, skin spots, and the improvement in fine lines. This individual, again, saw a decrease in the appearance of their skin spots found on their face. And this gentleman he kind of got all the benefits. So we saw an improvement in skin texture, improvement in fine lines, and also a reduction in the appearance of those age spots. And if you take a look at this photo, you're right. I started counting individual hair follicles, and you can see that small circle in blue. Those are 2 new hair follicles that I was able to find. In addition, that larger circle, you can just see the density of the hair has increased in this individual. The last staff photo that I'm going to show you is this gentleman's. Now, I didn't count hair follicles or anything like that, but the really important thing here was this gentleman had not grown out his hair in years. And after taking this product for 3 months, he had so much self-confidence and was so excited about the benefits that he was seeing, he actually started to grow his hair back out for the first time in years. And that's really what it's all about in making these AIM products. I'm so excited to be able to launch a new product. It's been a while, and AIM BioVivify has all the research. It's got all the trials behind it. It's very exciting. This statement here it really rings true to me. Creativity comes from fresh-minded, creative people. It starts with the AIM members and goes on to the AIM staff as well. Speaking of something fresh, we've got a fresh new product, AIM Barley Life Pineapple Flavor. We're going to offer a limited time new flavor of Barley Life Extra. It's pineapple. Tastes amazing, by the way. It's the same formulation, same 18 fruits and vegetables. You're getting the same 1 serving of Barley Life in every serving of Barley Life Extra. You're just getting it in a new flavor. Now, if you like the apple cherry Barley Life Extra you have now, it's still going to be available. You can still purchase it. But like I said, this pineapple version, it's only around for a limited time. So keep an eye out for those e-blasts, announcements in the magazine, and get it before it's gone, because once it's gone, it might not come back. So get it. The next kind of new and exciting change at AIM is Frame Essentials. We're moving this formula from a glucosamine that is derived from shellfish to a vegan formula. We've maintained the same amount of glucosamine from the same hydrochloride and sulfate sources, but now it's coming from fermented corn. So one of the challenges in the past has been moving away from shellfish is that you could have a powder glucosamine that is from vegetables and a powder glucosamine that was from shellfish. But through testing, you couldn't determine which was which. Now, through this isotopic signature carbon tracing, we can actually determine and validate that the powder that we're putting in AIM Frame Essentials is in fact vegan glucosamine, and ensure that you're getting a vegan formula in Frame Essentials. Again, keep an eye out for those e-blasts and magazine announcements when that will be introduced into your market. So what's next? That's a lot of information. So what are we working on? Well, it always starts with the AIM members. We're always waiting for you guys to provide us with some feedback that's going to drive more research. BioVivify is actually going to act as a really natural bridge to get us to a topical skincare system. Skin is the largest organ of the body, and we can further influence that through topical applications. And finally, we need to have an ingredient level connection between the current core AIM products and a new topical AIM system. So what's next? Skincare with AIM is next. I've spent over 3 years doing research and development on this product. Well, several products actually. And it's exciting, it's new, but I'm only going to tease you with a few of the ingredients. I'm not going to give you all the details, but the first ingredient is botanically based. All these products are based around the single ingredient. It smooths and protects skin, reduces inflammatory biomarkers, reduces redness and burning, and has anti-aging benefits. The second ingredient is a bioavailable active. It promotes collagen production, and it holds 1,000 times its weight in water. Now, if If you go back to the beginning of this presentation, you might actually be able to figure out what that ingredient is. It also reduces the appearance of wrinkles. The next ingredient is a fermented active. It can increase cellular respiration and metabolism, increases collagen and elasticity, and combats wrinkle formation. The last botanical that I'm going to talk about is a pore tightening botanical extract. It moisturizes and has a firming effect to the skin. The future looks really bright here at AIM. We've got some really exciting products, some exciting new ingredients, and I can't wait for you guys to see what's next.
Oh, Phillip, you're not kidding.
Yeah,
This is super exciting and just moving everything forward.
it is.
I bet you might have a lot of questions. Can I just take a moment to ask one question
Sure.
that came to mind? So what are some complementary AIM products that members can maybe take with BioVivify?
Absolutely. So probably the best ingredient is going to be a mega. So you're going to get those essential fatty acids, which are going to be good for the skin, but also the fat source of those essential fatty acids are going to help with the absorption of the astaxanthin. So it's a very good combination.
You are so smart. We are so glad you shared all of this with us, and you can always get a lot more information. So thank you
Absolutely.
very much. Super, super exciting.